Hello! You may have already seen that amongst my Gondor pile of shame. Wow, my desk was so clean back then. But as you can see, I had a Battlecry trebuchet, which my dad got me for my birthday a good few years ago, from a charity shop for £5. £5! That's cheaper. That's cheaper than just buying one of the crewmen. Then, going forward back to this year, I've been taking part in an army slow grow. As part of the third batch, I got the crew painted along with some spearmen. Nice and quick. You can see my ministerial process in this video, link up there and down in the description. But what wasn't quick was the process of putting together the trebuchet. I ended up assembling it in rather random stages between other projects or to fill dry and waiting times. So let's get started. The first thing I thought would be an easy put together was the counterweight, which didn't fit together. After some pushing and prying with pliers, the stars aligned and so did the edges. On the main structure I did 2 pins, one on each base to hold the sides up on the centre strut. Using a mix of superglue, green stuff and eventually a heavy duty option of JB Weld on the bastard, and then holding it together to cure and dry in elastic band bondage. I would leave it alone and get on with other stuff, ideally out of reach so to not disturb the process from picking up and checking, or worse, doing more to it. Speaking of which, the bondage was holding well and the counterweight was assembled. I can't remember if I was feeling positive or was high from all the adhesive fumes, but I thought I'll add it onto the arm, sliding it into the slot and dropping a bunch of glue down in there.
Stay.
Curse you! Curse you!
Not to be outdone, I clamped down on the ends at that pinch point. After taking the risk of a collapse, all the sides were securely up and the arm in place. I then noticed I forgot a part, right in amongst and between the 2 sides. With some final risky jiggery pokering and the slightest ever growing risk of prying it apart, it was in. Fast forward a few other projects and time, and I put on the winding wheel things. They're on thin poles that go into small holes. For a quick secure fitting, I went straight to the JB Weld. It was all rather fiddly, and needed plenty of random bits of whatever I had in reach to prop it up so it could dry in the correct position. Eventually though, I gave up on that fiddly, keeps falling off waste of time and source of frustration and rage, and I snipped off the pole parts and glued them on flat onto the sides. Bringing out the JB Weld again to add the boulder sling at the other end of the arm. For this to stay in the drying curing position, I propped up the counterweight so it stayed down on the other end for the JB Weld to cure, on the top at the arm and at the bottom to the strut of the trebuchet. Whilst writing up this script, I realised I could have just glued up the pivot point and glued the arm in place, but that clearly didn't occur to me at the time. With some mixed JB Weld epoxy left over to not waste, I used it as gap filler and splodged it over the joins on the base and the sides. I can go on thick and then it can be sanded and filed down later to smooth it out to match the rest of the structure. After the counterweight fell off multiple more times, I drilled a hole through and looped a thin bit of wire round the top with a splodge of green stuff for good measure. Eventually it was left alone enough to be all attached and ready to prime. As I said, this wasn't a quick and easy process, and had a lot of twists, turns, and nearly came to blows with the bastard. But now that it was primed and ready to paint, I just wanted it done. The mantra of my Minister of 1 Year 1 Army had and continues to be quick and easy. So I decided to speed paint it. But how long? 5 minutes? 10 minutes? Just time myself painting it in a speedy painty fashion? I decided to Google the average firing time of a medieval trebuchet, and the internet said 4 minutes 20. That's definitely going to be a speedy enough speed paint, and here's how it went. Is it getting browner? Nearly a minute. Pause. Slightly more brown. Yeah, lighter brown. And oh, this was a mistake. That was too much. Oh, heck. That was a fuck up, mate. Alright, it is mostly just blending into the brown I put down. Any browner? I'd say so, it's browner. I've chipped bits. That'll do, that'll do. Here we are at the slightly more browner stage. That's black. Let's contrast and compare. That is black. That is brown. That is black. That is brown. I say that's a success. Now to pick out a bunch of metal. And see, let's just scope out to the rim, these rims. Okay, it's quite a lot actually. Okay. Let's go for more of a just didn't swing around as much. Right, that's stupid place, didn't I? Suggest rock. I don't know if it's a metal rock, it's just a grey rock, that's all it is. Metal. Might as well metal. 3-4 seconds. Don't know why I did that. I've got the other side. Fuck. Melt. 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 There we go. Catapult done. So it could definitely use some touch-ups. But from a distance, out on the table, it looks alright, and that's alright with me. Time for some montage shots. Yep, okay, do not look at it too closely. That's it, no more close-ups. Montage continuing. Whoa, yes, okay, yeah, no close-up shots on this montage, please. Continue the montage. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, leave me a like down below, helps the video out. Leave me a comment, let me know what you think. What's your bane of existence when it comes to this hobby? If you had an annoying model, this was definitely mine. And of course, as always, subscribe. And if you like what I'm doing here, if you like the channel, share it with any fellow hobbits, and I hope this has been quite cool. See you on the next one.
It's quite cool.